The Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, is a TV guy. Now there's a green room adjacent to the press briefing room. So what Secretary Hegseth did was he asked for it to be modified into more of a makeup studio. Initially, the plan was for it to be about $40,000 or actually higher in renovations. Now, in this kind of period of cost cutting and the era of Doge austerity, that was changed.
I don't have a makeup studio or a makeup artist, and I'm on television every single day. Television, this show, like that's so absurd and so hilarious that the defense secretary's like, someone's got to blush me up before my television appearances, duh. Like, as he's, by the way, talking about like the most lethal army and all of that. Like it's kind of incredible. It really is. He's denying it, by the way. We'll get to his denials in just a minute, but I totally believe the story.
Yeah, he's a pretty vain guy. I'm pretty sure he's going to beach bum and hitting the tanning bed during the winter and spring months out there in DC. He's obviously super into his appearance, and yeah, man, after doing TV for as long as he did, he knows the difference a touch up can make, man, when he gets up in front of that camera. Plus, he's got a lot more cheating to do. You know what I mean? Like, how else is he gonna get these new hot chicks? And if he's not hot on TV,
listen, Pete Hegseth knows how he got the job. He knows that Trump likes to hire people who look like they're straight out of Central Casting. You think Trump looked at Pete Hegseth's record and his qualifications and was like, that guy would be an excellent defense secretary? No, of course not. Of course not. He looked at him, thought he was a good looking dude, and tapped him to serve as defense secretary. And you want to know something? He got exactly what he should have expected. A guy who's like leaking sensitive, classified details about military operations in Yemen through the Signal app. So congratulations. But Pete Hegseth says, no. I'm not vain at all. I have nothing to do. I did not ask for this. He says, totally fake story, no orders and no makeup, but whatever. But whatever is a really good argument. Whenever someone uses that, you know that they're telling the truth. We should have installed tampon machines in every men's bathroom at DOD. The leftist news media would have loved that. I'd be indifferent. I don't really care about tampon machines. I actually don't prefer them anywhere. I have my own. I deal with my own situation, whatever. I don't care. Like the fact that people spend any time thinking about tampon machines and which bathrooms they're in, it's like, okay, man.
We have a gender neutral bathroom, plenty of them at my office. And yeah, the first time I saw, I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, like everybody's using this. It just dawned on me. Sorry, Kate. Everybody's using this. Like,
my favorite part about hosting with Waz is when a bad word slips, and then both me and Kate are like we're off camera, but we're both making like the same face, like. Anyway, it's totally fine.
Kate, my bad. And with 3 minutes to go, it's just so egregious, unbelievable.
Okay. So $40,000 is a lot to spend on a makeup studio. But that would have made up only a tiny fraction of what the United States government spends on the Pentagon, which is now close to $1 trillion. Hilariously, Hegseth insists that he's still cutting waste from the Pentagon. Like, how so? And here's a clip from earlier this year. How are you gonna argue that you're cutting waste at the Pentagon? Like, has the Pentagon passed an audit finally? No. What are you cutting from the Pentagon? All you talk about is how you're rooting out DEI. Okay, congratulations. How much of a cost savings is that? So here's a clip from earlier this year featuring Hegseth explaining where he believes the Pentagon is wasting money.
There are waste, redundancies, and headcounts in headquarters that need to be addressed. There's just no doubt. Look at a lot of the climate programs that have been pursued at the Defense Department. The Defense Department is not in the business of climate change, solving the global thermostat. We're in the business of deterring and winning wars. So things like that, we want to look for to find efficiencies, and many others.
Right. Okay. They're not cutting any waste at the Pentagon. Okay, it's not about, maybe there might be redundancies. We're wasting money at the Pentagon because there's no accountability. They can't pass a single audit. We have defense contractors who are like inflating the costs of what they're charging the federal government for the weapons that our military buys from them. Like, it's just, no one's saving any money in the federal government. Okay, we're now literally spending $1 trillion a year to service our debt. And I know that I'm a little bit late to the game in being concerned about the federal debt, but I'm really worried about the federal debt. Like, when you're spending close to or about the same as we're spending on the Pentagon on servicing our debt, that is a big problem. Okay, but a guy who's gonna ask to spend $40,000 on a makeup studio as the defense secretary is not really looking to root out, waste, fraud, and abuse. Anyway, any final words on this, Waz, before we wrap it up?
I think Hegseth is, like, I thought he was a lightweight when he got nominated, but it's like, like you said, Anna, about not having Trump derangement. It's like you kind of want to see what people do, who they are before you make any judgments. And then it's like Signal Gate, and then like the media appearances that he's done the last few days where the guy seems manic and just straight up, he's not in control. Like, this does not seem like a guy who's cool, calm, collected under pressure. He's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, he threw his close friends who were very loyal to him under the bus at the Defense Department. Dan Caldwell, who worked with him for well over a decade at a different organization, he gets thrown under the bus.
He's cleaning up the Defense Department by kicking out the people that he brought in.
Yeah, he's cleaning up the Defense Department by ousting anyone that might not want to go to war in Iran, like Dan Caldwell. It's disgusting.
It's tough.
So, as funny as the makeup studio story is, at the end of the day, having him at the helm, having him lead the Pentagon is terrifying. It really is. It's terrifying. I think at this point, we've gotten enough experience with him to see that he's not really fit for the job.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.